Okay, we're recording.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome.
Welcome to 3 Black Girls, 1 Rose.
Where 3 black-ass girls invade the whitest show on earth,
The Bachelor.
I'm Natasha.
And I'm Justine.
And I'm Seinne.
Yay! She's here.
We have Seinne in the house. By in the house, we mean we are sitting in my bedroom and Seinne is on the phone that is laying on my bed.
I'm sitting in my car on my way home in Los Angeles.
Yeah. Don't you love technology?
Mm-hmm.
I just love it. Seinne, so you're calling us from LA, correct?
Yes. I'm driving from Beverly Hills to West Hollywood.
Oh.
From work to home.
Okay.
Yes.
That sounds like a journey. I feel like
It
everywhere
does.
in LA is a journey.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, jeez. Well, hopefully you, because I know you're running out of gas, you get to the gas station on time.
I will.
Good.
So, we actually have a few common threads with Seinne.
Yes.
I went to Quinnipiac, which is a school in Hamden, Connecticut, and she went to Yale, which is in New Haven, Connecticut. So hopefully she didn't see me barefoot on the streets of New Haven at Toad's one night.
Oh, I probably did. But I was probably doing the same thing, so it's all good.
It's all good. Messy college students.
Yep. Shout out to New Haven.
I don't think I ever took my shoes off, though. That would have been really sticky.
Ooh. Absolutely disgusting.
Keeping it classy as always.
Yeah.
So, Seinne, how have you been watching the season? Like, are you having like watch parties every night? What are you doing?
So I have been having, so in the beginning I had a big watch party for the first episode, and then it kind of like changed each week. Like one week I like just watched for myself, and I remember I like didn't like the episode, so I literally fast forwarded through most of the episode. Oh, it was the Fort Lauderdale episode. I just like fast forwarded through most of it. So, but I usually watch with at least one other person.
Oh, okay.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Nice little intimate affair. That's
Yeah,
cute.
and I've actually never watched an episode with one of the other girls, which I kind of like because it's nice to hear like an outsider's perspective and give them a little like inside info about what actually happened.
Yeah, that's trippy. Yeah, because you were in like such a little vacuum, so now that you're back in like the real world, it's cool to look back at that weird experience with someone who's like not at all attached to it.
Exactly.
Cool.
And then we have one question that we have to just
Get
out the way now. How many languages do you speak? Because we proclaim that you
Oh
speak
my
French, Portuguese, Italian, Spanish.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so actually, and it's so funny when you guys say that. So actually, I used to speak Spanish really well. Like I took Spanish in high school and in college. And then I decided to study abroad in Brazil, so then I learned Portuguese. And they're kind of similar, but the accent is very different. So it was really, when I was in Brazil, I spoke Portuguese super well. But then after that, what happened? Oh, okay, so then I started dating a French guy, but I wanted to study abroad in Italy, so I went to Italy, and like the program I was in was an English-speaking program, so I only took Italian for 2 weeks, so I really don't know any Italian.
Okay.
And then I learned a bit of French because I was dating that guy, my college boyfriend, and so I took French for like 1 or 2 semesters, I can't remember. But basically, all that being said, I basically just know English because I confused myself with all those languages.
Oh my god, I love that. So so you got English down pack and little snippets of like 5 other languages.
Exactly. I can like look at them and kind of understand what they are, or like I know the accent. So when we were in France, I was like, oh, I can remember how to say that, or like I could read things and say it, but I can't speak them fluently. So
Okay, well you can get around. You can at least navigate.
Yeah. Yep.
exactly.
That's good enough. Okay, so we're just gonna dive right into this mess. Going right. Are you ready, Seinne? Are you ready?
Oh gosh, I'm ready.
Okay. So, I mean, usually we do like a play-by-play recap, but we kind of decided to go by like themes that we want to dive into.
Yeah.
So, the first thing I think that everyone watching the show is just so puzzled by or just wants to know more about is Lauren B. Arie's relationship with Lauren B. and just like who is she, because we didn't really get to see that much of her on the show. So in the house, like, were you friends with Becca K more or Lauren?
So actually, I was closer to Lauren earlier on, and then towards the end, like the friendships kind of evened out, and I feel like I was equally close to both of them.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, Lauren was one of the first people in the house that came up to me and said that she could tell that I had a sweet energy and that she's not super loud and outgoing, and so she could see that I wasn't trying to like take over the room, and so we actually connected early on in Tahoe and in Fort Lauderdale. Like our rooms were right next to each other, so
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I mean she's definitely not like as outgoing as some of the other girls, and watching it back, obviously there were parts that were a little bit awkward because there wasn't much being said between them,
Mm-hmm.
but she's a really sweet girl, and like one-on-one, like I confided in her, and I know you guys have your feelings about her. I think Becky of the year.
Oh yeah,
It's like you can see our faces right now.
But yeah, I mean, I just, I'm not gonna badmouth Lauren B. I think, they're a good fit for each other, and I think I could see that he was really starting to like have a thing for her in Fort Lauderdale. I think he just, I don't know, they just connected. Like they say, they have this, weird understanding where they can know what the other one is thinking without saying anything. So, I mean, more power to them. I think they're a good fit.
I definitely agree.
Yeah, that we can agree on.
So this unspoken like bond between them, this is something that you guys also noticed? Like, was she able to like talk to you guys about it, or were you getting anything out of her in terms of their relationship and this bond?
Okay, so the thing about it is when you're in the house, you don't really talk about your relationship with Arie that in depth because everyone else also has one. So you don't really want to go into it too much.
Mm-hmm.
Because first of all, I think people want to, like, if they do feel like they have a strong relationship, they don't want to tell other people because then maybe other people will try to like step up their game a little bit.
Yeah.
Or so I could just tell, and for me, I think I knew deep down that I was not going to end up with him. Like, I couldn't see that happening. I was open-minded, and I was like, okay, let's see how things continue to go.
Mm-hmm.
But when I saw other people that I felt like were a better fit for me, I just kind of like, and I said this in my episode where I went home, like, when I was with him, I'd be like, this is great, we're having fun. But when I wasn't with him, I wasn't picturing my life with him, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, I do remember you saying that, and we were like, interesting, because it is such a weird, I mean, you're in the house with all these girls essentially competing for this man, so you do have to protect your heart, I guess, shut it off at some point.
For example, if I had known, so when I went on my one-on-one, I'm not sure if I would have, like, excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
Becca and Lauren both said that they were in love with Arie in Italy, and I just wasn't there, but it would have probably added a lot more pressure if I had known that they said that. So I'm glad I didn't know.
Yeah.
Because it just would have created, although it wasn't like, it ended up not being great because I got sent home, I at least still was genuine in my feelings and what I was thinking and feeling at that time.
That's true. So, like, devoid of, like, the outside influences and things. So, with Lauren B again, so a huge thing that was a big deal on the show was, like, Becca's age.
Yeah.
With Lauren B, she was engaged twice. Was this something that was known in the house that was of concern to people? Like, what was that conversation that was happening?
I only knew of one engagement. I didn't know of two engagements. I knew of one that ended like New Year's of last year, so about 9 months before we started filming. And she was very open about it, so it wasn't a concern for me because, you know, that's her business. The engagement was over. It seemed like it was a very clean cut. I didn't know about a second engagement, so maybe that would have raised some more red flags. But, you know, a few girls had comments like, she really wants to be married, like, you know, this is something that's important to her, like, to be married, to be a wife. So some people had comments about it, but the engagement didn't really bother me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, one engagement versus two, that's
a big deal. That's a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how do you guys know about what's the second engagement you know of?
We read, this might be Reality Steve?
Yeah, it was like her high school sweetheart was one of them, and then her second one was like some hockey player.
The guy that everyone knows, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I know about the hockey player, but I don't know about the other one.
The other guy? Okay.
Yeah.
And you said that this broke off New Year's Eve?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like, around New Year's of 2017. So, like when we started filming in September of 2017. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
She don't waste no time.
And New Year's is a very good time for Miss Lauren, huh?
That's a...
She really starts off the new year. Jeez.
Very pivotal time for her.
Yeah. Okay.
What about the fact that she had met Arie before? Was that anything that people talked about either?
You know what? That actually, I remember that in the very beginning, but it really wasn't a thing because she met him like briefly at like a race or something like that. So it wasn't like they met and they hung out. It was like they met and she got a photo with him. I don't know if they like spoke for a little while and maybe they had a bit of a conversation, but it wasn't like she met him and was hanging out with him. So it was kind of like how you meet a celebrity, even though he's not really a celebrity. Sorry with that shade. And like you ask them for their photo.
Okay, so it's more fleeting than, because we're about to say this girl's on a whirlwind adventure.
Romance.
Oh man.
All right, so let's move on to the proposal itself. Arie's proposal to Becca K.
Okay.
So when watching the proposal, I think us and everybody at home was looking and seeing these behaviors and seeing and literally feeling his aura of awkwardness through the television. Did you recognize any of those behaviorisms or just any inklings that he was indecisive physically or by the things he was saying? And were there any similarities between that and your relationship with him?
Okay, so during the actual engagement or leading up to the engagement?
I would say the actual engagement, as he's getting down on one knee, he like doesn't look into it. He doesn't look into it. He doesn't look sure.
Yeah, he looks nervous for sure. I mean, I think also, especially knowing what I knew at the time, it's hard not to like have that lens on when you're watching it.
Because you already knew, just to be clear, that they had in real life already broken up.
Oh.
Yes, I already. Did you guys not know that?
No, because I know with the timeline.
It's putting together the timeline.
Yeah, when they played on TV, everything had already played out. Okay.
Yeah, so I already knew. We pretty much knew right away. We all kind of found out through Reality Steve, actually.
Wow. Jeez.
And I don't read Reality Steve, but one of the other girls sent it to me, and then I basically we got confirmation over time, and then it was just like pretty clear what happened. But I did think that, especially because seeing his relationship with Lauren, like I don't know if you guys noticed this, but and I said this a bit on one of the shows, I can't remember if it was Monday or Tuesday, but I said that he looked a little bit disappointed when his parents said that Becca was a better fit.
Yeah.
Like he was kind of waiting, he was kind of hoping that they would say Lauren.
Yeah. We definitely saw that too. So it's like that same face almost like reappeared during the proposal.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, honestly, Arie was very concerned about, like, going into this, about how he was going to come off, because he kind of went in with the target on his back. No one really wanted him to be the Bachelor. You know, there were some rumors about him, and so I think in his head, you know, Becca, like, looked better on paper for his image, and then I guess eventually he just didn't care about that.
Oh, wow.
My dude.
So that's a perfect segue into the next question, which is the pressure behind this proposal. Because he said that he felt all this pressure. So did you feel any of this pressure to, like, get engaged with him during the process?
Well, I mean, I don't think I got far enough to feel that kind of pressure, because there were still 6 girls left when I went home. But I do think, so part of the reason why I think Peter wasn't the Bachelor was because I don't think he wanted to have to propose at the end. I think he wanted to have the option if he didn't feel ready. And so I think for Arie, like, you know, he felt like he had to give everyone that story. And I get that. I'm not condoning what he did. I'm definitely not condoning what he did. I think he handled it extremely poorly. But I do think he had pressure to have that be the ending of his season. Otherwise, everyone would be like, why didn't we just have Peter then? You know?
That's a really good point. Yeah. Because he was the alternative to Peter, essentially. And Peter's big thing was, like, the non-engagement, or he's not into that.
I think so. I mean, that's what I heard. I don't have, like, official confirmation, but based on what I read and things, I think part of Peter's hesitation in not accepting the role was, you know, having to propose at the end.
Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, it doesn't excuse Arie at all, but that pressure that he was talking about, and we were like, what the hell is that pressure?
Yeah.
I guess it is that engagement pressure, seeing as he was the hashtag not Peter, he had to give them what they wanted.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So if you had made it all the way to the end of the final 2, were you open to getting engaged with him? What would you have done?
I was open to getting engaged. Like, I'm ready to, like, meet my person and settle down and everything, but I wasn't there in my mind yet. Like, to me, I was always like, okay, well, maybe next week. Like, to me, right before I went home for hometowns, I was like, okay, well, maybe with him meeting my family, and if my family likes him, that'll make my feelings stronger, and then maybe my feelings will be stronger after that. So, like, at the point where I went home, no, I was not ready to get engaged to him. But, and I was thinking that maybe in, you know, a couple weeks that I would get there. Because things really happen quickly on the show, and your feelings do kind of develop pretty quickly. And I think they develop quickly because, you know, they have to. Like, you need to, like, get there. Otherwise, like, just go home, you know?
That's interesting, though, because
I also think it makes it easier. Like, it's not a normal breakup. And then maybe for Lauren B it was. I think she was very heartbroken. But it's not a normal breakup in that, like, it takes you a while to recover from it. Because you only knew I only knew him for 5 weeks by the time I went home. So I was, you know, I had mourned our quote-unquote relationship within a couple days.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true. Because things move so fast. And, once you're out of it, it's like, okay, that was a 5-week boyfriend, I guess. So,
yeah.
It didn't take that long to get over it, I guess.
Exactly.
Okay.
And maybe with someone else, it would have taken a little bit longer. But I think that, I think it's clear from the show as well that my connection with Arie wasn't as strong as some of the other girls, but we did like each other, and we had, and in fact, and I said this a few times, like, I think we actually had a better connection than what was shown. They cut a lot of our moments out, so we did have something, but it wasn't, you know, a Becca or a Lauren B connection.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's interesting. Yeah, having to watch that back and see what they chose to show versus not show is really interesting. Even with Lauren B, like what they chose to show and not show. They almost created this character that was like a mute, but I mean, I can't imagine she was a mute. Try to give her try to give her the benefit of the doubt, but it's like also we do kind of have to remember the editing and like, you know.
No, and I don't know what she was like. Like that's the thing is that how I knew Lauren was Lauren when we were traveling in the house when we would sit on the bed and talk. Like that's how I knew Lauren. I didn't know Lauren in her interviews or with Arie. So like I can't really, you know, it definitely like she's still obviously the same person, but yeah, I mean my conversations with her were definitely, you know, more interesting than what was a lot of what was shown of her.
Yeah. So it sounds like she was more of like she's good like one-on-one. But if there's a group or if there's a camera in her face, then she kind of shuts down.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's true. Like she's very. And Lauren and I actually talked on the phone about a week or 2 weeks ago, and yeah, no, she's a sweet girl.
So yeah, let's keep moving through. So we want to talk about this trifling, devastating breakup. That
uncut.
Oh God.
This uncut. Jesus Christ. So.
That was extremely difficult to watch.
Oh yeah, for all of America.
And then for you being friends with her, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was honestly one of the most bizarre things. You know, and I want to say like. The producers kept making him go in, but I didn't see any producers, and like they said, it was uncut. So it was like, to me, and I could be wrong, but in my opinion, it looked as if Arie was not satisfied that he did not see Becca cry. Like, cause she basically at first was like, okay, got it, like you can leave now.
Yeah.
Right.
And kind of dismissed him, and he left, and then he came back. And it was almost like he needed to have that validation of having her cry or having her tell him that she loved him. And I thought it was interesting because when he sent Lauren home and she said that she loved him, he said, I love you too. But when Becca said, I love you or I still love you, he didn't say it. And I thought that was it was pretty harsh. Like, it couldn't, I don't think he could have handled it any worse.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was really bad.
It was, yeah.
It was really bad. And like, I mean, everything you just described, and then on top of that, just his utter lack of emotion, like no tears, no words.
Barely an apology. Did he say, I'm sorry? I don't remember.
I feel like he said it maybe once or twice, but it was not like okay, here's the other thing that bothered me was not only did he keep going back inside, but he kept going back inside and he didn't say anything.
Yes.
He just sat there and looked at her. And I found that to be very strange. I was just like, why isn't he saying anything?
Yeah.
It's very bizarre. My all season, I'm like, use your words, Arie. Use your words. If any time.
I mean, that moment was by far the worst. Like, 'cause he kept saying to her, "Well, I just want to talk more. And then he wouldn't talk. He would just sit there. It was very strange. To me, I'm hoping that it was more like he reverted to his 21-year-old self, young Arie, and didn't know how to handle the situation, and not that he was being an asshole, but I'm not sure which one it was.
Yeah. I mean, one thing we noticed watching the show, so even before the breakup with Becca, where he blindsided her, even with you and a few other breakups, there's the theme of you girls saying, I was blindsided. What is that about? Like, what is that? And that he's...
Well, yeah, I think that it's a good point, especially, like, I can talk a little bit about me, but first, like, for example, when Chelsea was sent home in Paris, we were all shocked by that because he had just taken her out on a one-on-one, and he had given her a rose the week before. So it literally hadn't even been a full week because Bachelor only like, once you start traveling, Bachelor weeks become between like 4 and 5 days because you have a travel day. But they're not full weeks. So by the time we got to Paris, we went on our date. It hadn't even been, maybe it had been a week since their one-on-one. So to me, it didn't make sense that he had changed his mind about her so quickly. So I could see why she would have been blindsided by that. And then for me, I wouldn't have been blindsided had we not had the date that we had. We had such a great date in Italy during the day. Like, it was so fun. It didn't show us, but we like danced with the family. We sang. We had a great, like, I went into the day part of my date not feeling confident, like really not sure about him coming home to my family and really not sure about our relationship. And then the day part of our date went super well. And so I went into the evening part like, okay, like I'm going to hometown. That's what I thought.
Right.
And his energy, as soon as we sat down, just was like cold. And he started asking me questions, and I'm like, I wondered to myself, why had he never asked me these questions? Why didn't he ask me these questions in Fort Lauderdale? Why didn't he ask me these questions in Paris? Why is he asking me these questions? Or even earlier in the day, why is he waiting until right now to ask me these questions?
Right. Yeah, and I like, so in relation to the breakup and even with your breakup as well, there's just like this indecisiveness. And I remember you said, I think on another podcast maybe, how the fact that he changed his mind, you feel like he would have done that regardless. What do you mean by that?
I think that when I got home from Italy, I said this to my mom, and I actually had forgotten that I said it, but she brought it up. And this was before we knew about the switch happening. We were watching an episode, and a couple of the girls from the show were watching with me. Oh, I have watched an episode with girls from the show. Never mind, I have.
Okay.
And my mom was there, and my mom was like, well, Seinne said that Arie's going to change his mind. And I thought that no matter who he chose, he would change his mind.
What?
Oh my god.
And it's because of like just this innate indecisiveness in him?
Yeah, I think that he just wasn't sure, and I think he either needed more time, or I'm not really sure what it was, but I just had this feeling that he wasn't going to be able to stick with whichever decision he made. But it happened.
Yeah.
So we're almost halfway there, guys. So the aftermath. Arie goes to see Lauren in Virginia. So when they were sitting together, it was so bizarre to look at this man with a full head of gray hair, salt, no pepper, and this girl who looks so young. Like, Lauren looks really young for her age. I think she's 26. And it really looked like he was gaslighting her, and like manipulating her, as even Becca M said. What did you think when you saw that?
When he came to her house?
Yeah.
Like, even as he was saying to Lauren, like, you know, I chose Becca because she was more confident than you. It's almost like he was placing kind of a little bit of blame on her, a little bit of blame on Becca, like taking no responsibility for himself, and then, you know, sweet little Lauren just sitting there just hearing all this shit. Like, it looked weird. Like, to us, the optics were weird and disturbing.
Yeah.
Like, what did you think?
Well, I think the optics were weird and disturbing a little bit because by the time they filmed that, I'm pretty sure that that Lauren and Arie had already had a few conversations. It wasn't like that was the first time they saw. It wasn't like he slid into her DMs and said, "Hey, I want to talk. Can I come to Virginia?" It was like, "Hey, can we talk?" And they talked on the phone, and I'm sure they maybe talked on the phone. I don't know this for sure, so I could be wrong. But I imagine once they had each other's phone numbers, I imagine that one phone call wasn't where it ended. So I'm pretty sure that they already, like, it was already determined that they were going to get back together. They just needed to film it for the show.
Ugh.
Oh my god.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, that's not confirmed, but that's what I think, and that's what I said yesterday. confirmation from Lauren that she was going to take him back.
Right. Yeah, and that as you said that yesterday, we both looked at each other like that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Why would he throw away a sure thing for something that's not all the way lined up
Yeah.
yet?
No, it was lined up. It was lined up. You could tell it was lined up. She ran into his arm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh my god. Well, so on the cameras thing, sorry, I'm gonna go back. Like this decision to have the cameras there, I know he kind of gave his explanation and whatnot, but was this like an active decision by Arie?
My guess is no. I mean, the Bachelor, like, doesn't have that much control over what happens. I imagine that when he said to them, you know, hey, I want to be with Lauren, I imagine that it was the production decision to film the breakup. But I don't think Arie would have said, like, let's film the breakup. I don't think that would have come from him. I don't think he's, like, really out to humiliate Becca, but I think it made sense for the show because he was ending the relationship so early on in their engagement, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely get the producers, like, they're making a show.
Oh, yeah.
This is their intention, but at the end of the day, doesn't Arie have free will? Like, can't he say no? Can't he, tell them, yeah, let's film it, and then 2 days before actually break up with her off camera?
Yeah, right.
Like, is he, like, gonna be fined millions of...
Yeah, that's the thing. He had her phone number. They had each other's numbers at that point. So, yes, technically he could have given her a heads up.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, you know what I think? I think he was so removed at that point and so already thinking about his relationship with Lauren that he was just kind of like, okay, let's just do what they want me to do. I think he wasn't really even thinking about that. I mean, based on how he did it and the fact that he didn't really have anything to say, I think he was already very removed from the situation. I mean, he said things like, I wake up and go to sleep thinking about Lauren. It's like, that wasn't necessary. He didn't have to leave. He didn't have to say that.
Yeah, that
right.
was...
Like, there are other ways to end the relationship without, like, throwing that in her face.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think he was completely checked all the way out. One would hope he would show a little bit more tact and respect to her at the end, but it's like he, like, tossed Becca to the side.
Because he just wanted to run to Lauren. Like, he was just finished. Yeah. So, speaking of Lauren, her support of Arie was very cringeworthy, we thought. She was standing by her man, which is all fine and good, but she definitely could have been more critical of him. And she said, I think he did an amazing job, and he couldn't have handled it in a more respectful way. So what do you make of her?
Oh, God. I
Help us make sense of this.
well, she didn't watch the episode. So I felt bad almost when she said that, because I really think that she meant it, probably based on what he told her. But they said they didn't watch the episode, so she has never even seen how he broke up with Becca.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
She said she didn't.
Yeah.
No,
Yep.
she totally did. I didn't even make that connection that she's basing his performance or the way he did it based on what he told her.
Yeah.
What he told her.
Oh god.
That's what I think, because she didn't even watch.
She didn't even watch. Damn, this dude.
I wonder. We were wondering that, because a few of us were like, I wonder how she's gonna feel after watching this and seeing. Because to me, I would think, do I want to be with someone who would handle a breakup like this?
Right.
Exactly, because it's very telling to his character. But she didn't even see it, so she's not even seeing that whole side of him.
No.
Oh god.
And he broke up with her in a totally different way. He was
Lauren.
very loving breaking up with Lauren.
Yeah,
Yes.
very loving. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely loves her, and I do think, I actually think that their relationship is going to last.
Really? Well, how do you think that, or why so?
I'm not saying I think it's going to be, like, the ideal relationship that I look up to, but I do think it'll last.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, so when Molly and Jason Mesnick were there because they went through something very similar. I mean, he wasn't as villainized as Arie. I mean, pretty bad, but I think he handled his with a little bit more tact. But one thing that they said was that this experience, this craziness, the switcheroo, the stigmatization, all that stuff, kind of bonded them together, almost as if they have something to prove.
Right.
And that's strong. That can really strengthen the foundation of your relationship. So,
Oh, totally.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Ooh, wow. I mean, so speaking of Arie and Lauren and, you know, whether they'll be together or not and whatnot, one little shady word on the street, though, is your girl Becca M released some screenshots of Arie sliding into her DMs around February when he had already been back with Lauren in January. It seemed like innocent little DMs, but like, what is he doing?
Yeah, why?
I mean, I don't know. Okay, so what I know is when Big Becca and Arie were still together, I know that Big Becca would talk to Arie about Little Becca a lot because they're really close. And so I think he kind of saw her as a friend, and it was kind of like a friendly thing. I don't think he was doing it like in a sleazy way, but I think clearly he doesn't understand how social media works, and that you have to be very careful, especially in the situation that he's in.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's literally just like an old man who doesn't know how to use Twitter.
Really showing his age. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Because
Well, and I think he's trying to be nice. Like, I think recently, or like a couple weeks ago, he tweeted something really nice about me. He didn't slide into my DMs, but then he also liked a comment where someone said something about me, and people like freaked out. Like, what's Arie doing? It's like, well, he's a human being. I mean, it's like I mean, what Becca did by like, you know, exposing that, it was like funny, but I don't think the messages were that bad that he was really like, you know, he did something terribly wrong.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's just not a good look.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Like, it doesn't play out well on the internet.
Yeah. It just looks bad, I guess.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, exactly. It's like, if you have to explain something away, then you probably shouldn't do it.
Precisely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Becca as the Bachelorette, which is very exciting for us, but we also have conflicting feelings. We obviously are rooting for you since like episode 3. So did they ever approach you for it? And what are those like behind the scenes conversations about who's going to be the next Bachelorette?
To be honest, I don't think they approached anyone other than Becca, and I think that had Arie not done what he did, there would have been other people considered, but because of how everything went down, there really couldn't be any other option but her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could totally see that. The only other way would be if she would have to tell them no.
Yeah.
And then
Exactly.
yeah.
If she said no, then yes, there would have been other. I think maybe it would have been Tia. I don't think it would have been me for obvious reasons. I think if, you know, like the last Bachelor wasn't black, then maybe I could have had more of a chance. But I don't think they would do 2 in a row.
And why is that?
Yeah.
What's that about?
I mean, yeah. It's just the way. It's just the people who watch the show. You know, it's like it's the demographic. I don't think that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Like, I definitely think they probably considered me, but you know, it's like just in terms of numbers, for example, like, you know, my numbers aren't nearly as close to some of the other girls. So
You're talking social media numbers?
yeah, social media, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, the whole fact that we have this podcast,
That's the whole reason why we have it,
is about, you know, bringing people of color into this world that, you know, the Bachelor world that is, you know, extremely lacking in diversity. So, like, with Becca.
And I think that the cast actually was a pretty diverse cast, but I don't think, you know, I think maybe a different Bachelor would have embraced kind of more of that, but, you know, So I was like, uh-oh. You know? I'm probably not going to be here much longer.
Yeah. I mean, this is a good segue, actually.
Yeah, it is.
So, can you talk to us a little bit about how you got into the process of applying? Like, what was your relationship to The Bachelor in terms of watching, and then how did you apply and, like, get into all of this?
So, basically, I never watched the show. My brother, he's 4 years older than me, he's watched the show since season 1. So I've always known that he watched, but I never watched it.
Wow.
I did watch that one show, Unreal, which is like the,
Yes.
you know, the scripted series about it.
Yes, the behind-the-scenes look, yeah.
Exactly. So I watched that, but so what happened was I was just with some coworkers, and one of them mentioned me auditioning for The Bachelor, and this wasn't the first time someone had said this to me. This was probably the third time someone has told me to go on the show, but I've always just kind of dismissed it because I'd never watched. And then we looked, and the open audition was literally the next day, and it was 5 minutes from my house. It was the very last one before I think casting was closed, so I just went, and then I got cast.
Wow.
That's how I ended up on the show.
Damn, so little drive-through pit stop at the audition, and then there you are now. Wow. So going into the show, so back to our, like, the piece on diversity and whatnot, just knowing the history of, like, the lack of people of color on the show, did you yourself have any, like, fear or worry of being tokenized or being chosen because you were Black? You know what I mean?
Chosen for the show?
Right. Like, so what I'm referring to, like, we've heard other interviews with other contestants of color from other seasons that kind of describe their process of, you know, applying for the show. And I'm thinking of one interview in particular where the person, they moved so quickly through the process. It's almost as if they weren't intentionally chosen by producers, but rather they were chosen because, okay, this is like a decent Black person. Let's just throw them in. So when you were in the process, did you feel any of that, or did you have any just fear or worry about just being tokenized since they don't ever really cast that many people of color on the show?
Well, during the process, no, because I consider myself like an exceptional candidate despite the color of my skin. You know, like I'm very accomplished and I bring a lot to the table. So
Yes.
Preach!
Yay! So I obviously know that, like, being a minority does help because most people that audition for the show are not. And so on top of all that I bring, I'm also minority. And so I knew that would definitely help. But once I was there, I kind of could see that, like, okay, well, there's a few other women of color, but I'm probably going to be the only one that gets kind of a fair shake at it. Like, and so in that way, I guess I was a little bit tokenized because I was kind of like the one Black girl that he had a connection with, if that makes sense, you know?
That makes a lot of sense. And even speaking on, like, being an exceptional Black woman, like, that's definitely a thing, and that you almost have to be, like, perfect. Yeah. It's the whole, you gotta work twice as hard to get half as far, like, that whole thing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I think also, you know, and I don't think Arie's a bad guy. I don't think that Arie is prejudiced or anything, but I think Arie has a type, and I think if it had been a different Bachelor, I think some different girls would have gone further, you know? I think,
that makes sense. So, like, did you, was there ever a conversation with Arie on whether he's ever dated interracially before?
So we talked about it. I'm trying to remember. So on our first one-on-one date, they didn't air it. I feel like he said he had never dated a Black girl, but that he lived with a Black woman for a while.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah, his roommate was a Black woman, he said, but I don't think he dated one.
Okay. Okay.
I wonder how they found each other. Okay.
Interesting. Okay, I mean, that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was your dating life like before the show, and how is dating in LA? Because we're on the East Coast and we have our own stories, but we'd like to hear yours.
Dating before the show was tough. So okay, let me think.
Racking through the horror stories, I'm sure.
I gotta go way back.
Oh boy.
Okay, let me think. So I dated this guy. My last relationship ended in 2016, around April 2016. He was a very, very nice guy. Came from a good family, like was super sweet to me, all those things, but I was just lacking in a connection, and so I ended things with him. And then after that, I met a lot of guys that I liked, but no one that I dated seriously. And so, yeah, I mean, I was pretty single going into it, and I also was not feeling jaded going into it because I know that there are always options, but I'm just waiting for the right person, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, and so now, after the show, I've been dating some, and,
Okay. All
All
right.
right.
yeah, so we'll see what happens. I'll check back in with you and let you know how things are going.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, please do.
Well, I'm sure you're a hot commodity in these LA streets now, so, don't be too bad on them now.
Oh man, yeah, the DMs are pretty funny, to be honest.
Ooh, the
no.
DMs are on fire, aren't they?
They're funny and like just some of the things people say. People have been calling my work.
What?
So
Oh my God.
okay, I shouldn't say people. Someone sent me flowers and then called my job 3 days in a row.
No.
And I didn't answer, but I recognized the name because they left their phone number with the flowers, and so I googled the phone number, and so I found them. So I didn't answer. And then today someone called, and he called twice last week. Today he called and he left a voicemail, and he said it was an older guy. Like I'm telling you, he sounded like he was 55, 60.
Oh, hell
Yeah, when you
no.
sound old,
Ew.
that means you're old.
Yeah, and he was basically saying how much he liked Becca K and how I could help him get in touch with her.
What?
Are you serious?
I'm so serious. I wish I could make this up. I tweeted about it. I was like, please don't call people's workplaces. I was like, it's very rude and creepy.
Very creepy.
Yeah.
And then you're asking about other people at that.
Yeah.
What the hell? Oh my God. So I guess you have to, this is what you're going to be putting up with for at least the next year.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, wow.
God.
So, when you found out it was Arie your type physically and his personality?
His personality.
That was a little hesitation there, Seinne.
His personality, I think, I like someone a little bit more outgoing and a little bit like more sure of themselves. In terms of his looks, I mean, there are people that I find more attractive. I'll just put it that way. But I date guys of all races. I've dated a lot of white guys, so that wasn't an issue for me. I liked the fact that he was tall. I liked dark hair. So there were things about his looks that I liked, but I definitely have been more attracted to other people. That's for sure.
That's for damn sure. So you were able to find little redeeming qualities here and there and go off that. Okay, fair enough.
So, speaking of your job too, what do you tell your job when you are going to film The Bachelor for 5 weeks?
Or how long do you tell them you're going to be away
Yeah.
for? How does that work?
Okay, so the way that it actually worked out was I was planning on leaving my job, and I was interviewing with a new company in LA, because if you notice on my bio or on my little tagline, it said Newport Beach, California.
Okay, yeah.
way that it worked out was I got this new job, and I basically told them that I couldn't start till November, and then I told my old job that I was starting a new job, and so neither of them knew, and so then I went and filmed the show.
Nice!
Wow.
Oh, that is so clutch.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So there was
Yeah.
the work thing was not even an issue.
Yeah, no hiccups.
Wow.
I mean, they both found out pretty soon after because I got leaked and yeah, so they both kind of knew, but
Okay.
it wasn't a big deal. By the time I started, I didn't know that my new job knew, but I found out pretty quickly, and it was actually nice because once I knew everyone knew, I didn't have to make some big reveal about it.
Oh, true.
And so the people that like watch it, they'll ask me questions from time to time, but most of the guys, there's a lot of like older men in my office that don't care, so they just don't
Okay.
ask.
Okay.
Good for you.
Yeah, that's
that worked
good.
out pretty well.
Yeah. And then aside from that, the physical, mental, and the beauty preparation for this show. So how did you put together your hair and your outfits? What boot camps were you going to? Like, tell us all of it.
How do you prepare for this?
Yeah.
What do you pack? What is this?
So yeah, okay, so the nice thing was actually worked out perfectly because I quit my job and then I had like 10 days to really just get ready for the show. So I was shopping, I was doing a lot of hot yoga, I was like doing all the things I needed to do to get ready, and you kind of just like, I went through, it was nice because I was moving, so I had to move and get ready for the show at the same time, so that part was a little bit stressful, but
Yeah.
I just put all my stuff in storage, and I took what I needed with me. I got good at doing my hair on the show. I was already like good at doing my hair, but but like you just kind of, I don't know, you just figure it out as you go along. You hope that you bring enough stuff, and the part that bummed me was so many of the dates I went on were like activewear or jeans or blah blah blah. And I had so many cute outfits that were not like activewear that I didn't get to wear, so that was a bummer. But I definitely put a lot of effort into my look because like style is really important to me, and I kind of pride myself on having good style. So
Yes. Well,
so it was kind of fun. It was fun to put that all together.
and you did phenomenal.
Yeah, we could definitely tell.
Slayed every outfit. I mean, because on our podcast we talk about the style.
Yep.
We go through people's.
Oh, I know.
You okay? We go through.
I know you do.
We go through from head to toe, and you made us proud every episode.
Every episode.
So good on you, girl.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Those clip-in extensions came in handy.
Nice.
Oh,
yes. There was a lot of clip-ins in this house.
So many.
Had to have been.
So I'd never worn clip-ins before going on the show. And
Okay.
I decided, okay, well, you know, my hair is like naturally pretty long and it's easy to do, but I was like, I kind of wanted to be a little bit thicker, and so it helped. So I didn't wear them all the time. Like you can tell when I just have my natural hair and when I'm wearing clip-ins, and actually the nice thing was you couldn't really tell because
No.
the length
Yeah.
wasn't that much. The length wasn't that much different from my natural hair, so and I wanted it that way.
Yeah.
So
We had no idea.
Couldn't tell. And the color, did you custom color them?
no, I ordered dark brown and
No!
She ordered
Wow!
just straight dark brown and
I
matched.
ordered them from Amazon.
Seinne.
No. You Amazon Primed your weave?
Yeah, I'll send you the link. They're really good extensions.
Wow.
In all my Instagram photos, like most of my Instagram photos, I have those ones in.
I'm so impressed.
Yeah, me too.
I'm very impressed because I'm a wig. I mean, my hair is natural now, but I'm like wig weave queen, and so.
No, and I do it all myself, and no one can ever tell. Like, no, I got good at it.
Wow, snaps to
Right.
you, girl.
Yeah.
Very proud.
I see a CN YouTube channel in the future.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe. That's what's next.
I love it. So back to being in the house and everything like that. When, you need someone to turn to, or just behind the scenes when you have no mic pack on, like, who do you talk to? Are you girls talking to each other? Are there, like, producers or other people in the house that you trust?
The producers are with us 24/7. I don't think that's what people get. We get super close to producers. They're always with us. So, like, some if you don't go on a date that day, then a few of the producers will hang back and just hang with you. Like, when you wake up, like, the producers are going to be there shortly. Like, there's these things called handlers, and the handlers are people who, like, wake you up and, like, are there when you go to sleep. And then the producers come shortly after that, and so you're with them all day. But, yeah, you also are talking to the girls. Like, they're especially, in the mansion, you don't really have any privacy, and you pretty much always have to be mic'd. But when you start traveling, you're not mic'd as often, so there are a lot of moments where you can say whatever you want to say off camera.
Gotcha. Hence, Crystal's blow up in the bus, or whatever that was.
In the bathroom.
Exactly. They should have had cameras there, though. I'm actually shocked that they didn't, knowing that Arie had just, like, kind of made that decision to invite our team.
Yeah, I think all of us watching were like, what?
Where is this footage?
Convenient that the cameras weren't there. What the hell? So with the producers, because this must be like an interesting relationship because you're so close with them. They're like friends almost at some point. But at the same time, they're doing a job and have to make a show.
Yeah, exactly. She does get, and that's the thing is, I think some girls forget that, but I always had that in the back of my mind, like, I'm really close to a lot of them now, and I do consider them friends, but I always knew, like, at the end of the day, like, the show comes first, you know, so it's like, you have to protect yourself, you know, like, if you don't want, like, for example, the producers, you know, would say to me that I was really, like, nervous that, you know, I was going to be portrayed a certain way, and so I was kind of, like, uptight in the beginning, but I did that on purpose because I was that way. They didn't have anything to work with, meaning they couldn't try to get that out of me in the future, whereas, like, if they see a glimpse of you being crazy in the beginning, then they'll try to get that out of you again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yep, definitely. Which is, I'm assuming that's what went down with Crystal.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming too.
Oh, wow. So, I mean, speaking of Crystal, I mean, one thing that's interesting now with The Bachelor, like, it's 2018, we live in this very social media world. We have people like Crystal, just as an example, who even before the show is already building, like, this social media fitness, you know, kind of career or presence. And so it's interesting when these kinds of people are cast on the show, it almost, in a way, it almost, like, ruins the integrity, because then you're wondering who's here for, like, actually finding love and who's here for whatever other agenda. Was this something that you guys talked about in the house? Was there, like, a divide between, like, the real girls and, like, the questionable ones? Like, what is that about?
No, because, I mean, at the end of the day, like, you can't really judge another person. I mean, there are some people who have made it a little bit more obvious by the things that they said. But at the end of the day, I think every girl going into the show knows that there's a chance, like, obviously, if we end up getting engaged and getting married, that's incredible. But 28 of us, that wasn't going to happen. So we agreed to expose our lives. You know, it's not like we were like, oh, I want to go on the show, but I don't want anyone to know who I am. It's like, you go on the show, you're fine with people knowing who you are. So I kind of am like, everyone has a little bit of that in them.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone has to have, everyone has to have an agenda, because you're one of 20, you have a 1 in 29 chance of actually getting the love at the end.
Exactly.
So you'd be stupid if you're not coming there with some hustle, with some hustle in the back pocket. Okay.
Yeah.
So speaking of some of these other girls, we obviously have a whole episode dedicated to Jacqueline's invitation to the cookout. And we're so proud of her and just being true to her feelings and using all those big words. So why do you think that why don't more people leave when they're just not feeling it?
It's a lot of pressure because you get kind of wrapped up in the whole experience of it, and it's hard to tell, like, it's hard to separate, like, your feelings, like, about that person or about being homesick, and so it's not, like, easy to be like, okay, I'm just going to leave now, because there's the pressure of, like, you've made all these friends, and, like, you want to, like, you see what happens, like, you don't know what could happen. You've only spent 20 minutes with him at this point, so who knows, maybe if you have a one-on-one, then your relationship can develop, so there's a lot of things that go into it. It's interesting, actually, the night that Jacqueline sent herself home, I didn't even know she sent herself home when it happened. You probably don't notice in that scene, but I'm the only girl not there, because I was in the room crying because I was thinking about sending myself home.
What? Wait. So there was a day where everybody was about to be packed up and
Everybody was going home.
everyone was going home. So, sorry to cut you off. So, yeah, so you were thinking of going home. What?
I was thinking of going home, and then I talked to one of the producers, and he was like, Seinne, you're just tired, you're having a hard day, like, just hang in there, kind of thing. And I was like, okay, you're right, I don't want to quit. But yeah, there was a moment where I was like, it was, you know what it was for me? When I found out that Lauren B got another one-on-one 2 weeks in a row, I was like, okay, I don't need to be here. Like, he wants to be with Lauren B. I knew at that moment, he wants to be with this girl. I don't need to be here.
Yeah. Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, the double one-on-one was very telling.
Yeah.
That foreshadowed, like, everything. So, wow. So you were on the brink. You were on the cliff.
Yeah.
About to head off the edge. Yeah. Can you imagine if you and Jacqueline went home?
And then we still had to recap for the rest of the season?
Oh, God, I can't.
That's so terrible.
Wow. Oh, man. Well, you still did, because we went home the same episode anyway.
That's true.
Oh, was it the same? Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, same episode.
Yeah. Man, if the two of them packed up and shipped out.
Right?
Woo-wee.
Oh, man. Would have had champagne just in both of your honor. Oh, jeez. So, your one-on-one date when you guys were parasailing. Oh, my God, I cannot believe you had clip-ins parasailing.
The clip-ins?
In the air.
No, I didn't have clip-ins.
Oh.
I didn't have clip-ins.
Whew, I was
Okay.
like, those must be some clip-ins. She'll be flying through the ocean.
That's what I'm saying. I would wear my natural hair quite a bit. It's just like rose ceremonies, I always had clip-ins.
Yeah.
But like not every time, every other time, like it was, sometimes I would, sometimes I wouldn't.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
But during that date, both Caroline and Crystal said, oh, well, we're not really, like, seeing it between Seinne and Arie. And there was definitely sort of a tinge of, like, okay, what do you really mean by not seeing it? So what do you think they meant?
You know, it's interesting because I was kind of like, I mean, I could get Crystal saying it because she just would say anything rude that came to her mind. But it was interesting to me that Caroline said it because I'd gotten a group date rose and she hadn't. So clearly there was more like going on between me and him than she and him. So it was interesting to hear that back. But you know, whatever. That was their opinion, and maybe maybe they hadn't really seen Arie and I interact, or maybe they just assumed, like, because I didn't really talk about him much, that they didn't know it was going to happen. Or maybe the producers told them to say that. I really don't know. You know, I don't know where that was coming from, but to me it wasn't worth the energy of asking them. Like, I don't really care.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We had all the energy in the podcast to dissect it for you, so.
Oh, no, I know. I heard. I appreciate it.
Yes, we got your back. When you you quickly said something about the producers might have made her say that. What, is that a thing that happens?
No, the producers never make you say anything, but they be like, well, can she maybe not come home? And then someone said, yeah, maybe she's not going to come home. You know, so it's like, they don't make you say anything. That's definitely a misconception. You say whatever you want to say. You know, like there are times where I'm like, I'm not going to say that. But, and then they'll leave it alone. But obviously, if they know that you're more willing to say something, then they might kind of push you to say it.
So they bait you or almost craft questions in a way to get the answer out from you, I guess.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So your next one-on-one was Tuscany, which we kind of talked about a little bit. You know, the whole day was going great, and then suddenly his energy switched and he wasn't feeling it or whatever. When you pack up into Suburban and you go, where do you go? We never see what happens. We see the big...
Go off into the abyss.
I'm going to take you to a hotel separate from the rest of the girls, and then you sleep there that night, and the next morning they send you a taxi, and then you take your ass to the airport and go home.
Damn. So they literally pack you up and ship you out.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You one night of room
It
service.
was really funny at the beginning of the week. I wish it had been on camera, but honestly, if it had been, they wouldn't have aired it anyway. But I remember saying, because I had studied abroad in Italy, I remember saying, like, well, I've flown home alone from Italy once before. I can do it again.
Yep.
And that's what happened. So.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Well, you dodged a bullet.
Yeah, definitely.
Moving on. So after the show, you've been around doing interviews and things like that. You're part of kind of this Bachelor. You're part of Bachelor Nation now. So of course now people have a deep invested interest in your love life, and Mr. Ben Higgins, you know this is coming. So for those of the people, like the listeners out there, Ben Higgins, prior Bachelor, he's like a favorite in the Bachelor world. He has a podcast and mentioned on his podcast that he had a little crush on Seinne. And then recently, this past week, you were on the podcast, and this crush came up, and then like there was no date that was made. What's going on there with Mr. Higgins?
Yeah, so I heard those things early. You guys, the number of people that tag him and I on Twitter and Instagram, it's like ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah, so I really didn't know anything about him, and because of who he chose at the very end, I really felt like I didn't think that he would be interested in me, because I'm like the opposite of Lauren Bushnell. Yeah. You know? So I was like shocked when I heard him kind of saying those things. But yeah, I mean, I met him in person on Monday. He's really cute. He's super nice. He's a gentleman. He's a really sweet guy. And so I was actually on their podcast a week ago, and I thought for sure Ashley was going to bring it up, and she didn't, because Ben was out of town. He was out of the country, so Ben wasn't there.
Okay.
And so I thought, oh, well, maybe Ben doesn't want her to bring it up because, like, maybe he feels like uncomfortable about it or whatever. But then they brought it up, and he wanted to talk about it, but he wanted to be very diplomatic about it. So he basically said, like, yes, I would go on your season of The Bachelorette, but he did not ask me out.
Yes, we heard that too. We're like, he's talking in circles among circles.
Into the universe, like, around the world, and not saying anything.
So there was no off-podcast conversation going on there?
Well, I mean, maybe.
Oh! Okay, we'll keep watching the Twitter feed and the Instagram stories and peek out for him in the background.
I can't say one way or the other.
Okay.
Gotcha. Outside of Ben, there's many good-looking guys in the Bachelor world. Do you have any other Bachelor Nation crushes?
Okay, let's think. Well, obviously Peter.
Ooh, yes. Me too, girl.
Obviously, yes.
But I think Peter's good looking, but I don't know if Peter and I think if Peter had been the Bachelor, I think I would have gone a bit further.
Yes, definitely, I think so.
Yeah, I think I would have gone a bit further. But I think now that, like, you know, we're out of it, I'm not sure that we're the best fit for each other, but obviously he's a very good looking guy. But yeah, other than that, there's not anyone that I'm, like, crazy about in Bachelor Nation. But there is a new batch of guys who will be on The Bachelorette, so.
That is true. That is true.
So we'll see. But so far, Ben is the cutest to me.
Okay.
All right.
These aren't bad picks. Ben Higgins and Peter.
Yeah.
I mean,
Two good
this
ones.
is A-list.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. Yeah.
So, would you ever consider, since the process works a little better on Bachelor in Paradise, would you ever consider going on Paradise?
I would consider it, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
What's the hesitation?
Well, the hesitation is I could be dating someone by then.
True.
And, like, ultimately, being in a healthy relationship with someone that I really care about is more important than a television show. So, yeah, I mean, if I were dating someone by then no, I wouldn't do Paradise.
Yeah.
It would depend on, and if I wasn't dating someone, it would really depend on what guys would be there, because I also wouldn't want to just go on just to be there. Like, for one, I don't know if my job, I'd have to take a leave of absence from work. I wouldn't be able to just, like, take vacation.
Yeah.
So, I have to take a leave of absence. I don't know how they feel about that. So there are a lot of factors, I think, that would go into that decision. But it's not a hard no, but it's also not a hard yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that makes sense. You have a real life.
Yeah.
You have, I mean, dating, sure, you can do it on The Bachelor, or you can also just do it in real life.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly, yeah.
yeah. No, makes sense.
Natasha and I just have this yearning to have you and Becca M on Bachelor in Paradise, just ruling and
Dominating.
literally driving these guys nuts.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I mean,
Yeah.
it's possible. Like, it's a few months away.
Okay.
Filming starts
Okay.
in, I think, like, early June. So,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
we'll see where I am by then.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm leaning towards probably not.
Okay. Gotcha. We'll check in with you in June.
Yeah.
Okay. Check in with me, like, in May.
In May.
In May?
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, as far as, like, you're part of Bachelor Nation because you were on The Bachelor, you were a front runner, you're a fan favorite, but are you part of the Bachelor world? Like, are you guys all going to, like, the Dime in LA and seeing DeMario and whoever else? Like...
I mean, so because I was on Ben and Ashley's podcast, I'm going to, they invited me to the iHeartRadio Music Festival this Sunday, so I'll be there with them. That'll be
Nice.
fun. But otherwise, I mean, I just celebrated my birthday this weekend, and the only person from Bachelor that was there was Becca M. Because I have also a lot of great friends outside of Bachelor that I don't want to just, like, it's very easy to kind of get wrapped up in it, because the more you hang out with other people, it's just like, you know, it's easy to just kind of, your life revolves around Bachelor Nation, but I do want to stay true to who I was before the show and, you know, keep a semblance of that life and those relationships, so.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
You sound like a very strong, independent,
accomplished
bitch life. I love it. Oh my God.
You guys are hilarious. I've really enjoyed listening to you guys throughout the season. It's been a treat.
Oh,
thank you.
Well, thank you so much for the support. You've been very supportive with us on Twitter, putting up with our shenanigans. And then coming on for today and being our first interview, you know, we really, really appreciate it. We hope to definitely have you back, you know, and do another life update.
You guys are going to cover The Bachelorette, right?
We are.
Oh, yeah.
We will be. Yes, we will.
Yeah, so maybe I can come back on for one of those episodes or something.
Yes. We'll do another,
We'll do another recap.
Three black girls, one rose.
Yes.
The end edition. Got it.
So
Maybe we can make it 3 black girls, 2 roses.
Okay,
Yes.
we'll up the rose count so we're not killing each other.
So people can obviously find you on social media, but for everyone go follow her. But for anyone who doesn't, just let us know your Instagram, anything fun or creative that you want to share, any new projects, any fit, fab, fun boxes, anything.
Well, I'm not throwing fit fat fun at the moment. But yeah, my Instagram and my Twitter handle are the same. My first and last name, Seinne Fleming, Fleming. And yeah, I'd love for you to follow along my life. I hopefully will be doing some traveling soon. I'm thinking about maybe going to Tulum this month.
So you'll be traveling. We can watch your travels and all of that. Well, that's the episode, guys.
That's it.
We want to say another big thank you to Seinne.
Thank you.
We will be checking in with
Thanks
her.
for having me.
Thanks for being on it, and we'll, keep watching out for all amazing things that you'll be doing. And we'll definitely talk to you again soon on the podcast.
Sounds good. Have a great night, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.